Are you seeking personal tips, tricks, and guides to all things Disney travel? Want to plan your escape to a magical destination? Are you looking for someone else to do all the research and booking for you at no additional cost? Then Mouse Therapy is exactly what you need. Sit back and relax, because Diz Dad is here to take care of you. Greetings, and welcome to Mouse Therapy. My name is Heath Brady, also known as Diz Dad, and I am an authorized Disney vacation planner. I'm here to not only help plan your next Disney adventure, but also give you some insights from personal knowledge and experience on how to maximize your vacation at a Disney property. Whether it's Disneyland, Walt Disney World, Disney Cruise Line, or Disney's Aulani Resort and Spa. If you like what you hear, let me be the one to book your travel and handle your planning at no extra cost to you. In this episode, you'll get to hear some of that personal knowledge and experience because I happen to have a very special guest joining me. That would be my wonderful and amazing wife, Andrea, also known as DizMama. Say hello to everybody.
Well, hello there.
So I decided to bring my much better half to join me on this episode because we wanted to have a little bit of a riff conversation and share with all of you our 3 most magical moments that we have experienced at Disneyland. You know, Andy, I know that I've been to Disneyland a lot more times than you have.
Don't rub it in.
Well, you know, it is my home away from home.
I know.
But I think that the two of us have had some magical, momentous experiences at Disneyland together. Mm-hmm. And I think that our lovely listeners would really appreciate hearing just a handful of what some of those magical moments that we have experienced just might be.
Absolutely.
So why don't you kick us off?
I'd love to share. Well, I came down to 3 because we've been several times together, but I picked 3 magical moments to share with everyone. The first one was our very first trip, just the 2 of us. And we decided that we were going to travel without children and experience Disneyland and all it has to offer for adults and with no kids.
Wait a minute. You mean that Disneyland isn't just for kids?
No, it's there's so much more. Once you start planning a trip for grown-ups, it's way different. Because you get to finally do all the things that you've wanted to do, but haven't had the opportunity. Like take your time shopping or going to those fancy restaurants that maybe you don't want to take the whole family to.
Or just getting on the Disneyland Express and doing the circuit without having children in tow.
That's true. Yeah, and it was delightful. We decided to splurge.
Of course.
And we stayed at the Grand Californian, but this time we stayed club level. And I know it costs a little more, but you really feel like you're on vacation. They pamper you big time.
Yes. I would say that club level rooms definitely fit the definition of you get what you pay for.
Well, one of my favorite things about club level is all day food and drink. So when you come back to the hotel for a few hours to rest, put your feet up, you don't have to worry about food. You just go to the club level lounge and they have food for you and drink. All
day long.
And I'm also talking about adult beverages, complimentary. Well, beer and wine, that is.
Yes.
And so it was really nice to just relax. I felt pampered. It was so much fun. We went to the Blue Bayou for the first time together. And it was nice, just you and I taking time to swim in the saltwater pool at the Grand Californian.
Yes.
Their pool is gorgeous.
Especially at night.
Yeah, very luxurious. So everything about all of the Disney hotels are wonderful, but the Grand Californian is my favorite.
I enjoyed just chilling in the lobby.
Oh, yeah, and they have a lovely wine bar down there, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, their whole lobby is in craftsman decor, and it's beautiful, very grand. It lives up to its name.
And if you're lucky, there will be somebody sitting behind the piano playing classic Disney hits.
Yes. That's always fun. I enjoy that a lot.
Definitely.
My second favorite magical moment was when we got engaged.
Yes.
It was such a nice time. We went down at Christmas time with 3 of our children.
Which is the busiest time of year.
It was the busiest time of year. I believe it was the first time we'd been at Christmas, though.
It was.
And it was so beautiful. We again stayed at the Grand Californian, and the way they decorate, it's just majestic. They have a gigantic tree and gingerbread houses and all sorts of things. They really do it up. Anyway, I remember our children were pretty little at the time, and when we went into Disneyland, you know, on Main Street, they have that giant tree. They have these huge ornaments.
The Audrey-size ornaments.
Yes, our little daughter was about the size of the ornaments on the tree, and it was so cute. I have to say that, honey, hats off to you because of your amazing planning skills. Even though it was the most busy time of the year, they actually closed the park down 2 times because of crowd control. We never felt rushed. We never felt like we had to wait very long for rides and things because you planned it so well.
Aw, thank you.
Yeah, we had a really wonderful time.
I definitely did work my magic for that trip.
And I have to say, when you have a momentous occasion like an engagement, Disneyland bends over backwards to make your moment very magical. So using your services along with working together hand in hand with the people on staff at Disney can really make a special moment happen.
100%.
My third magical moment was when we took our 2 daughters, the infamous Disney princess trip.
Yes.
We have 5 children altogether, so it was nice just taking the 2 youngest daughters so we could cater to everything that they wanted to do, which is a lot different than what a teenager might want to do. You catch my drift? So we got to spoil them rotten. Well, they're never rotten, are they? This time we decided to stay at the Disneyland Hotel.
Mm-hmm.
And it was spectacular. The room was amazing. The headboard lit up and music played, and we were just amazed. It was so beautiful. The hotel itself was fun. Just very retro Disney, lots of different cool aspects that are way different than like the Grand Californian. It's a very, very Disney-oriented hotel. Lots of characters, things like that. And it caters more to kids, I think, at the Disneyland Hotel. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes, for sure.
The pool area was so cool. It's designed to look like the monorails.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're sliding down a tube slide, you're actually sliding down a little monorail.
Yeah, that was cool.
It was very cute. And the kids loved it. We ended up taking the monorail a lot to avoid having to walk through
Downtown Disney.
Yeah, through the entire downtown Disney area. It was so much faster. And I really loved being able to take the 2 girls to the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say, I'm so thankful for splurging on that special event because they're only little once. And once they hit a certain age, they aren't going to want to ever do that kind of thing again. They won't want to dress up like that sometimes, you know. And I'm so glad we took advantage of it when they were little, and it was magical.
Yeah. I was really thrilled because I got to do a lot of things that I normally wouldn't do because it was mainly revolving around the girls.
Mm-hmm.
So we did a lot of princess meet and greets and Pixie Hollow, and it was just an amazing time. That Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique thing was great, especially because when they were all done, I was like, there isn't anything here for boys. And the hairstylist who was helping one of the girls said, "Oh, does Dad need some pixie dust?" And so she brought over her magic wand and she sprinkled pixie dust on my head too.
The stylists are called fairy godmothers.
Fairy godmothers, yep,
yes.
because they work magic.
It's a very immersive experience.
Mm-hmm.
We had so much fun. And we even got to meet Tinkerbell.
Yep.
At the Pixie Hollow. They also have some of the other Pixie Hollow fairies there because they were really into that.
Yes.
Yeah, we met tons of Disney princesses.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a really fun time, and it was a different kind of trip.
I think that was also right after Fantasy Fair had opened, so that's the one building that's solely dedicated to princess meet and greets.
Mm-hmm. Makes it so easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, those are my 3 experiences that I wanted to share. How about you, honey?
Well, I have to say that my most favorite magical moment at Disneyland is when we got engaged. For sure. Mm-hmm. The kids were in on it. The hotel was in on it. And at that time, there was a violin player whose name is Drew Tredick that performed live in downtown Disney. And he and I had become friends over the years, and he was in on the proposal.
You guys were sneaky.
We sure were. After 3 long days of playing in the parks, we went back to the hotel. My sister and her daughter met us, and we went out to downtown Disney. And to make a long story short, we saw Drew, and he played our favorite song. We slow danced in front of God and all of creation. And then when the song was over, I put a stop to everything and proposed to you right there in front of all of the hundreds of people walking by. And it was just a really cool thing. And when we went back to the hotel had decorated our room. We had probably the most ginormous chocolate-covered strawberries waiting for us that I've ever seen. They had confetti. They had bride and groom Mickey ears waiting for us. And then we went down to the club level lounge to have dessert. The kids had gone ahead of us and let everyone in there know that we had just gotten engaged. So when we walked into the lounge, all of the hotel guests that were in the lounge started hooting and hollering and clapping and wishing us congratulations and all of that. And they poured us some champagne and we had ice cream, and it was just a really cool thing. And, they always say if you're going to do it big. But if it wasn't for Disneyland, that memory would not be nearly as big as it could have been. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand.
And it was just such a wonderful time. Such a wonderful time. And then I remember we rode Soarin' after we got engaged, and that was just so now every time I ride Soarin', I always have flashbacks of you and I just being engaged with our 3 youngest kids there.
Yeah.
It was really magic. I loved it. My second most magical moment is also on the princess trip. The first time that we ate at Goofy's Kitchen.
Oh, yes.
We had never eaten at Goofy's Kitchen before. And if you've never eaten there before, it's located inside the Disneyland Hotel. It's a buffet-style meal, so it's all you can eat. And Goofy is my favorite Disney character, so it was a win-win for everybody, especially me because I love Goofy. But you get your picture taken with Goofy before you go sit at your table, and throughout your meal, most of the classic characters like Minnie and Pluto and Donald and Daisy, they come through and they take pictures with you. Even Chip and Dale come through. And I don't know if there was like some crazy luck in the universe that particular night,
I think so.
but all of these random characters just started wandering into Goofy's kitchen. So we saw like Alice and the Mad Hatter. We saw Aladdin and Jasmine. It just was insane, all the characters that were there.
It was kind of a fluke, I think. But we got very lucky to see all of them.
Yeah, we scored. So not only did I get to have my picture with Goofy, and not only did we have this all-you-can-eat buffet meal at the restaurant, but there were tons of characters that we got our pictures with. Mm-hmm. And probably the main reason why it's one of my most magical moments is because our daughter looked at me and said, "You really are the best dad ever."
Aw.
And that just meant a lot to me. I guess my third magical memory, I would have to say the time that we stayed off property. Mm-hmm. When we stayed across the street from the Esplanade at the Best Western Plus Park Place Inn.
That's right.
It's right across the street from the Esplanade. Mm-hmm. Now, so many times we have stayed on property because of all the benefits, and on a previous one of my episodes, I discussed some of those incredible benefits of staying on property. But that Best Western is one of the many Good Neighbor hotels. And I have to say, the walk from the hotel to the Esplanade, it's actually about 5 minutes faster.
Wow.
And it was one of those times where I was like, the only time that we're really going to be in our hotel is when it's time to go to bed. And you don't really think about it along those terms when you stay on property, because when you stay on property, you want to experience the hotel. Because each of the resort hotels have a lot of splendor and you want to wander around and check everything out. Mm-hmm. But if you want to go hard and play all day, and the only time you're going to be in your room is when it's time to take a nap or time to go to bed, man, those Good Neighbor hotels, they definitely are awesome.
That's right.
But it was really cool because the walk was not bad. And I had never wanted to stay off property because in my mind's eye, it was like 1,000,000 miles away to our hotel. And it really isn't that bad.
No, it isn't.
And there was a lot of things on that particular trip that we did differently besides staying off property. Mm-hmm. So we didn't rope drop.
No, we didn't.
A single day on that trip. In fact, I think the earliest we showed up in the park was sometime after 11, which is so not like us.
Yeah, we took our time.
We took our time, and we met a whole bunch of friends for the first time that we had met through TikTok, and it was a really good time. So those are probably my 3 favorite magical moments, because they're 3 very different aspects of things that you can experience while at the Disneyland resort.
That's one of those interesting things people ask us. Don't you ever get tired of going to Disneyland?
Are you kidding me?
Well, there's just so many ways that you can go to Disneyland.
Yeah, that's like saying, do you ever get tired of eating chocolate? There's so many different ways you can have chocolate.
That's the truth. There's always a new way that you can experience Disneyland.
Mm-hmm. And we've been at Christmas time. We've been at Halloween. We've been in the spring. We've been in the summer. Mm-hmm. Every single time that we go, the trips are unique to the experience every single time.
That's right.
And it never gets old. It never gets boring. It never gets ridiculous or redundant. It is magical. Disneyland is magical. And whether you are a Disney dork adult like I am or not, you will thoroughly enjoy lots of things, whether you go with your family or you go as adults. But if you've never been to Disneyland, or maybe you've been to Disneyland before and haven't had a positive experience, maybe the number one reason why is because you didn't consult with someone who is an authorized Disney vacation planner that has experience, tips, tricks, and knowledge to pull from to help you plan your trip. And that's what I'm here for. And that's why I wanted Andrea to come on, so that we could both share some examples of our own, of the different ways that we have had our own magical moments at Disneyland. So, Andy?
Yes.
Thanks for hanging out.
You're welcome.
And we're definitely going to have you back, because on a future episode, we should discuss our favorite magical moments from Walt Disney World.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And maybe even our most magical moments from Disney's Aulonian Spa.
Ooh, sounds like fun.
You've been listening to Mouse Therapy with DizDad. Let me help you plan your next magical moment away from it all. Drop me an email at heath@makingmagicalmoments.com. That's HEATH@makingmagicalmoments.com for a free quote on your Disney destination. You can also give me a follow on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, or TikTok at DizDad8013 and drop me a message. Be sure to check out makingmagicalmoments.com for more information about how you can receive the best travel experience. Let's make your magic happen today.